This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
You're listening to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Rachel Casella standing by, caller 9 at 844-999. Ola plays Profile This in minutes. And we do have your headlines on the way 1 hour from now. First, quick check into Mike Hawk for some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
All right, there's a man in England who trimmed his hedges in the shape of a sexy lady. But now he's upset because people won't stop having sex with his hedges.
I'm not sure what... Am I more shocked that a guy is shocked that after shaping hedges in the form of a sexy lady, people are taking advantage? Or that people will have sex with anything that's in the shape of a sexy lady?
What's more amazing is this woman is kind of like sprawled out, laying down, and it really does look like a woman who's laying down. The guy did a really good job of trimming this bush to look like a woman.
Is it green and leafy?
Yeah.
All right, I'm in.
Yeah.
Apparently people won't stay out of his bush. Mm-hmm. He says he's thinking about getting an alarm to keep people off.
Or don't shape it like that anymore, man.
Men have a reputation for exaggerating their number of sexual partners, but a new study found it could be because they're just guessing.
No, BS.
They can't remember, probably.
BS.
The researchers found that men had a lot of trouble remembering all the people they'd had sex with, so they just kind of throw out a number that they think is right.
I think that's fair.
And I think it depends who asks them, right?
No, it's not.
If I ask you, and we've never met, we're at the bar, it's going to be a high number, all right? If some woman who is expressing interest in this guy and asks, you're going to lower the number.
Oh, it depends on who asked. For sure.
I've been with 87 women, Mama.
But I wouldn't be lying to you. I would be lying to her.
No,
I would be in the ballpark figure with you. But I would never tell that.
To me.
Right.
But if you didn't know me, I'm telling you.
And vice versa, I would assume.
Mm-hmm. She's lying, you're lying.
I would hope. Well, I think. I mean, I know I would. I mean, even if it was 3, I go, it's 2. I mean, it's not the number. It's not that. I just think I naturally would do it. And maybe it is 3.
It's like when people get the weight.
Right,
Shave down.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be some random dude in a bar asking. I just feel like after a certain age, don't ask.
Yeah.
Don't ask.
Right.
I mean, you already know. You're going to remember.
It's different if you're like 19 or 20. It's another thing when you're like 40.
Mm-hmm.
It's already expected.
Sunday is National Lipstick Day, and a new survey
Don't have to tell me.
New survey found.
So watch out for those dogs.
They misinterpreted what it was about. Can't get Sparky off your leg?
What is with the dog today?
It's a lipstick day. It's like the purge for dogs.
Oh, he's celebrating.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dear. Anywho.
Might want to warn your cat, Mike.
What day is it again? What day is it
Sunday.
again? Oh, I want to be prepared.
New survey found the sexiest lipstick colors.
Yay. We
went to the dog park.
I'm so glad you're not working on this.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Oh,
Actually,
red.
I do have the top 2 for you, Miles.
No.
Red and hot pink.
Yeah. I mean, that's standard.
Anybody know what the least sexy is?
Black.
No.
I think black's pretty sexy,
Purple.
depending on who pulls
Purple.
it off. Because it looks like you're going to die. It looks like you're frostbitten.
That's exactly the same color as
Like-
Miles' shirt.
Green.
Yeah, green.
Green
I'll
lipstick.
kiss a green lip lady. I don't give a crap. You know
I can't have woman with green lips.
I don't care what color
But
your
she
lips
wasn't
are.
wearing lipstick.
I don't care what color your lips are, man. Well, maybe I do.
And it wasn't her face.
A man in Arizona was released from the hospital for a heat-related issue on Tuesday, but it was over 109 outside, and he didn't want to walk home, so he stole an ambulance.
And coming up on Profile This, you have to guess.
Very good.
Oh, really? Stole an ambulance because it's too hot outside.
A woman in Georgia gave birth to a baby boy at a Six Flags water park on Monday. Now Six Flags is saying congrats by giving them both free visits for life.
Oh, dude, that's the hookup.
Wow. Because that way you get free daycare all summer long, right?
Yeah.
Seriously, like when a kid turns like 6 or 7, you just drop the kid off there in the morning.
This will be a thing. People are going to start inducing labor at their favorite
That's what
restaurant.
I'm saying, man.
Did you read the unfortunate name of this woman who gave birth?
Oh,
Of course not. I'm not working on it.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
What is it?
Oh, man. It's
Are you writing it down right now?
No, I'm not going to say.
The average parent has 2,184 arguments with their kids every year.
Is that it?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they don't listen to anything you
There's
say.
nothing you say that does not become an
They don't go, okay, I get it, and then move on.
Yes, I will clean my room.
Any idea what the most common thing that you argue with them about is?
Who smoked my last cigarette? I don't
Cleaning
know.
rooms?
I'm going to say no matter what it is, it's the amount of times that you have to tell them to do something before they will do it. So it doesn't really matter to me what it is.
It's just the fact that you have made a request.
I've done it, and then I did it again, and then I ask you for a third time, and at that time, I'm losing my mind, regardless of whatever it is. And same thing with my parents. Same thing they would say to me.
Right,
it hasn't changed.
It is, in fact,
I
that
was
complicated,
guilty.
Miles. It's cleaning their plate.
Oh.
For some reason in the UK, Skittles just rolled out a new line called Chewies that don't have a shell.
So it's no shell, just the inside Skittle.
Correct.
You know how they do it? They hire a bunch of people in the factory, and they suck on all of the normal ones. And then when they start getting soft, they spit them in a bag and deliver them right to you.
They say they're gummier and the flavor is less intense than regular Skittles.
I'm into it.
No, I want intense Skittles, Ted. When people kiss up to their bosses, they do worse at work, according to a new study.
No kidding.
Researchers found that all the sucking up drains your energy, so you start wasting more time and missing deadlines.
How about all the sucking up means that you're not really doing your job and you need to cover for it?
Right.
The root of the problem might be a little different.
Yes. Auntie Anne's has a buy one, get one free pretzel deal for National Aunt and Uncle's Day.
When the hell is National Aunt and Uncle
I have
Day?
no idea. I'm not working on it.
God, there's National Everything Day.
That's pretty solid, though,
Lipstick
man.
is on Sunday. What, Aunt and Uncle Day?
No, that you get a free pretzel.
Oh.
Aunt Annie's is delicious. And also, yeah.
So I can go there
Aunt
because
Anne's
you're an uncle.
I'm an uncle.
You can go and get one.
Yeah.
Does your aunt have to be there with you? Does the aunt too? I guess
I don't know. And how do I prove I'm an uncle?
There's a coupon.
Call your brother.
Yeah, he's got to be on
Yeah.
the phone. Go like, yeah, that's her uncle.
But if I'm your brother, I'm like, I don't know this dude.
No
I
free
can
pretzel
text
for
Maddie.
you.
He's 15. She'll text right back.
Okay.
Apparently, it's more and more
Hey,
common.
tell him I'm your uncle. I want a free pretzel, Maddie.
Apparently, it's more and more common for companies to do initial job interviews via text.
What?
Jesus.
Over text.
Don't do that, man.
No.
Just listen to me. Over text, it can seem like a good idea. And then you got to meet that person.
We got years of regret.
I'm just saying, it's hard to it's hard to get a read on people when you're just texting them.
Oh, I see. And then
There's a
when
lot
you
of
meet them-
inflection that you miss. There's a lot of things that weren't sarcasm that actually were sarcasm.
Yeah.
Was it awkward?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just saying, you need a face-to-face meeting with people.
Agreed.
Before you waste too much time or get too involved in the texting.
I'm just saying,
don't-
they're going to start hiring people off of just text. It's like, well, you're not going to see any of their cues or any of this.
I'm
like-
body language.
I'm just
Yeah.
going to send them a poop emoji.
Poomoji.
Poomoji.
A
job
repo
is
man
done.
in Lincoln, Nebraska showed up to take a woman's tires and rims back this week. And while he was doing it, she ran his ass over.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Not his fault. Pay your goddamn bills.
Let's see. A 28-year-old woman in Australia recently quit her job to be a housewife, which is fine. But this part's kind of weird. She also got rid of her entire wardrobe and only wears clothes from the 1950s now.
Huh.
She says it's
All
her
right.
choice, though.
Okay. I'm sure it's her choice.
I don't think somebody's making her.
Right. Do you think her husband knew she was crazy before this happened?
Oh, yeah. He had babies
think
with
so?
her.
Oh, that's from 1962. I would take that off. I mean, like, how do you know? I mean, I'm dead serious.
Does she
How do you
have the
know?
big hair?
I don't know. Oh, no, that was 60s. You talking about like a bouffant, or what the hell they call that?
Yeah, I don't know what kind of hair they're rocking in the 50s, man.
Just from the 50s.
That's her thing, man. Uh-huh.
A man in the UK.
White.
Well, it's Australia. Yeah, I know.
I'm getting a little excited for the game. Sorry.
Good job, Ted. Good job.
Thank you, Mike Hawk. Headlines are coming up 1 hour from now, but first the game is...
The Men's Room presents Profile
And
This.
Stephen Throwhill, can you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Christy. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, guys.
Hello, hola to you. All right, Christy, you understand how this here game is played?
I do.
All right, that's fantastic because I just explained it. But here is your story. We go to Mesa, Arizona, as our very own Mike Hawk alluded to. There's a 37-year-old guy, and he was hospitalized earlier this week with a heat-related issue. The heat-related issue has to do something with the fact that the high that day in Mesa was 115 degrees. So they took him to the hospital, rehydrate him. Well, when he was discharged, he didn't have a ride home. And considering that he'd just been in the hospital because of the insane heat, He didn't want to walk home. Probably a smart idea. So did he get an Uber? Did he hail a cab? No. Target-rich environment? He stole an ambulance. That's right. Now, believe it or not, the cops quickly tracked him down and pulled him over. And he explained his heat issues, and he said he was just going to buy a sandwich, head home, and eventually he was going to return the ambulance. The cops understood, they nodded their heads, and then they arrested him for unlawful use of transportation. We're just assuming the jail is air-conditioned, so he'll be all right. Do you believe that this genius is black, white, Mexican, or Asian?
Ooh, what does the resident profiler Ted think?
You've been on fire this week, bro.
I have.
Yeah, you would be 5 for 5, wouldn't you? I think you would be 5 for 5.
I mean, my initial instinct is I'm thinking it's a sunburned white dude who's like got heat exhaustion. But I don't know. Anybody can get heat exhaustion in 109.
115.
115.
Yeah, I don't think that knows any bounds.
Man, I don't know. The
It's
pressure.
Arizona, though.
It is Arizona.
He said he stole it, but he planned to return it.
He said he was going to have a sandwich, basically go home, take a nap, but eventually was going to return the ambulance. He simply did not want to walk home in the heat.
Sandwich, did he mention a beverage?
No.
That would be a
I
big
think
clue.
I'm going to go with Mexi.
He's going home and he's going to eat a
They're-
sandwich.
They know that they're really good with the heat, but it is Arizona.
Christy, I'm going to go with this one. He's going home to make a sandwich.
No, he was going to buy a sandwich, then head home.
He's going to buy a sandwich, then head home.
Go home, then eventually return the ambulance.
If he's buying a sandwich, typically a sandwich is a white person thing. That's the only thing that I can think of as a clue. Because
You know
white
what?
people eat cold lunch.
Being Mesa, Arizona, I think I'm going to go white.
Final answer?
Final answer,
Christy,
white.
we'll find out if he was black, white, Mexican, or Asian next.
That was a tease.
You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Hola, bichola. You have entered the men's room.
12 takes us to Mesa, Arizona, 115 degrees. Guy's hospitalized because of the heat.
Yeah.
So they probably, I guess, hook him up with an IV and put him in the air condon, and then he's discharged, but he doesn't have a ride home. So he ends up stealing an ambulance, stops on the way, picks up a sandwich, or so he says, but the police eventually picked him up and pulled him over, and I guess he was arrested for his ride home. He could have Ubered it.
Miles, I hate how you get false information. All right, he did not get the sandwich. The cops pulled him over before he had the chance to do it.
Come on,
man.
That is a bummer.
That
But, you know, if
changes
you go back
everything.
to the hospital, hopefully they have food there for you.
Now, Ted, you guessed that this guy was what?
I said white.
And Christy, you guessed this guy was white also?
That is correct.
Ted, you were on such a streak this week. You were 4 for 4.
Uh-oh.
Well, guess what?
Oh.
You are correct! He wanted a sandwich!
White people love sandwiches. That was the clue.
And we hate the heat.
We do, and you were talking about like the 6-foot sub. Like, if you get a cold sandwich, that is the whitest wheelhouse ever.
What if the guy had said I was going to get like an open-faced turkey sandwich?
Oh, no, black.
Black.
Without
hot sandwich.
question. Without question.
Mm-hmm.
Without question.
Now, what do you do with the French
White
dip?
people eat cold sandwiches. It's what we do. French dip is
Granted, I'm black and I love a French dip, so...
I think that's the exception. Well, it's a hot sandwich.
Well, it's a cold sandwich with hot au jus.
It's sometimes hot beef, though.
Sometimes.
This guy's a freak.
What do you mean?
Open faced turkey sandwich in 115 heat?
Yeah.
That would be just
He's
gross.
in a diner.
Give me something covered in gravy.
Now for all
Stat.
TV news all the time, and it's time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box,
Armageddon.
the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
Tell you what, it's not often that you get to be perfect. Feels good. All right.
Hey, man.
Did your mic just leave again?
Pretty sure it did.
Oh, yeah.
Hello. No, it's not as bad as it was.
Oh, there we go.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Yeah.
Keep mine. It's a brand new mic.
No, these are brand new studios. It always happens during this segment. At this one particular time. Do you want me to blow on it?
Don't look at me and ask that.
Well, I mean, seriously. You told me to blow on it last time. No, Mike told me to blow on it. Not my bad.
Mike tells everyone to blow on it.
Right?
He is a
My
freak.
bad, it was you.
There it is.
Am I back? Am I back? All right. No one else cares, but I do.
All right, when you guys go to a bar, what games do you like to play? I know you're not
What's in
playing
my pocket?
games.
What's in my pocket?
all the
Depends.
time.
I would say that. I mean, I enjoy pool if they got a pool table. If they
All
have
right.
cornhole, I'll go play that for sure.
Right.
Darts?
Darts, right? Maybe some foosball.
Oh, yeah. I'll play.
Maybe some shuffleboard.
If you got a skee ball, count me in.
skee ball's
Skee
great.
ball is good.
I like shuffleboards becoming my
I'll
new
do a
thing.
pool tab if I'm sitting there long enough and they have them. I mean, it doesn't
But I
matter.
think traditionally you think a bar, you're going to have pool table,
Dartboard.
dartboard, maybe something else.
If they have an outside, there'll be a few others.
I'll tell you what the one is that gets me every time. It is kind of strange, but when you see it, you can't stop. Is the ring toss, the ring with the nail on the wall. You ever seen that before?
Oh, Jesus Christ! It's easy. That game's so hard.
Oh no, I can sit there for hours. Like God damn
it's like a little ring on a fishing line.
Oh yeah.
And you got to hang it on a hook.
Yeah, I stopped playing that because I suck.
Yeah, exactly. So traditional bar games.
We call that game anger.
Yeah, I'm with you. So you throw in darts. I am terrible at darts. Every time I play darts, I'm generally kind of wasted. It's like, let's throw darts.
Still fun.
It is still fun. But, if you ever go over to England, professional darts is a massive thing.
And they also drink when they're playing for real on the professional level.
I thought they were phasing it out. I think some of them still do a couple pints beforehand, though.
I think they do. It's a steady thing.
It's their Gatorade.
But there's crowds there, all right? I need you to understand, because I don't think in America we're used to professional darts at this level.
No.
There is crowds there. I think a lot of people wear costumes, too. It's like an all-out party. So Mike was explaining to me how big of a deal this hit was, right? By the way, this guy's nickname is the Flying Scotsman.
Oh.
Yeah, but he goes perfect on 9 shots and finishes 501.
Do that sort of thing and respond in kind.
What a night we've had at the Winter Gardens. What a darty party this is. Party.
136.
Here he comes again.
Come on, Gary, come on. The little twizzle make no difference.
Now he's hit 6 triple 20s in a row.
Didn't quite get a clean transfer to the throwing hand, but it didn't matter. He's on.
We've waited since 2014 for a 9-dart leg. Gary Anderson wants treble 19. To end the wait! The magical 9-dart leg!
Listen to that crowd, man.
Scotsman!
Absolute brilliance, responding even Joe Cullen has the breakout and smile. What an
Listen to that.
I'm going to tell you, man.
The 9-dart leg.
I know you're all fired up now about cricket, but you might have missed a boat. Maybe it's darts. It sounds like the crowd is going nuts.
If you did that in America, you're like,
there's a definitive
awesome
end to this game. I mean, you're not going to sit there for like 2-3 days.
How many people do you think were there?
There's a lot of people there. It's funny you bring that up. The IPL, the Indian Premier League of cricket, by the way, had more sponsorship money this year than Major League Baseball.
Huh.
Damn. Telling you, cricket's the next big thing. But darts is huge. You're not wrong.
It just sounded like the roar of the crowd was just
Well, they don't have
intense.
as many people there as they got at a cricket match.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's intense. I don't know. It looks like the arenas are maybe, I'd say, in the thousands, but I don't think it's like 25,000.
Right, but still, I mean, when I heard the crowd, I thought you'd hear a lot of applause.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that was the sound of a freaking crowd.
Well, and I think you know this because you were married to an Englishman.
An English
Not
woman.
close.
Well, an Englishman, yes, it was.
Right.
It was a brief affair.
But I think also over there, like in the pubs, like it's not traditional to have TVs and stuff. So I feel like everybody's throwing a lot more darts.
The pubs there, I mean, in most of England, London's different, but they closed at 11:30, but pubs are your culture. The first time I went there, the dude that I'm going to go see is like, man, I just had a baby daughter. Can't wait for you to see her. That's all he would do. I met him at his job. He had like an hour left, and he's like, let's go home with me. Like, cool. Whole time in the cab ride as we go there, man, my baby daughter, I cannot wait to see her. She's beautiful. It changes your life. I'm like, yeah, man, I get it. So we get to his neighborhood. We're at the end of his block, and he's telling me where he lives. He points down the street. I start walking that way, and he's like, where are you going? I said, well, your house. He's like, no, man, you stop at the pub first. I was like, well, what about your daughter? He's like, this is English life. When you are done with work, you go to the pub. Every single person. That is all they do. And we had 2 pints. Then we went to see his baby daughter. But I love it. He still walks in like, oh, look at my baby. I couldn't wait to see you. And in my head, I'm like, we just went to the bar.
But he didn't even get any, and probably didn't get any lip service for it either.
What do you mean?
I mean, he probably
not
didn't
at all.
chastise
His wife completely is like, yeah, of course you stopped. I knew where he was. He's up the street.
I was cutting the grass and doing plumbing work while I was
waiting. Man, but one thing we did do, we started adopting that philosophy after work. Like, man, if you can get a beer after work, just one, makes all the difference in your night.
Now, if we could just work in like that 3-month vacation.
Holiday.
Well,
here on holiday, how long? 12 weeks.
Oh, yeah, and they were going to Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But end our trip there. It's only 4 weeks.
Then on to
China. How
China.
long are you here? 3 days.
We're circumventing the globe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 3 days, and I still got to answer emails.
Right.
Yeah. Hang on, I got to take this call.
Oh, my bad. We're doing a live feed? Oh, Christ.
LeBron James, obviously you hear a lot about him these days. You know what? I bet he could throw some darts.
LeBron?
I think so.
He's from Ohio. Well, the
But
bar
I don't
culture.
picture LeBron James like spending a lot of time in bars. But
Once he figures out the trick, I think he would crush.
But also, you got to keep in mind, like, how much AAU basketball did he play growing up? And he's probably traveled for tournaments all over the place. I just feel like darts is something, like, just to pass the time.
Let me ask you this. We have LeBron James, and you're going to get Steph Curry, and it's going to be darts. Who are you putting your money on?
I mean, I got to go Curry.
There's got to be...
I would go LeBron, and here's why. Initially, I thought Curry, but one thing about Curry, I believe this would be true. He would go for the bullseye every time. Where I think LeBron would be more systematic, start picking off the numbers.
Yeah.
I really do. That's what I think would go down.
What was Bruce Jenner? Was decathlon?
Correct.
I think they need one of those from the standpoint of your average Joe guy. So whether it's darts is one thing, pool is another.
Cornhole. Bowling.
Yeah, it might be.
What's the ladder
flip
toss
cup.
thing?
I think there's all kind of but there should be like 7 or 8 of these things, and you just got to go and you got to do it. You know what I mean? And that's
Well, why don't we do that?
And that's it.
Why don't
Like,
we do that?
They have, like, serious cornhole tournaments now.
I know that,
No,
but
they
I'm saying
do,
that's
but-
one element of a whole thing. Like, you've got to be a complete
Right, we have 8
alcoholic
events.
athlete here. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's even the beer miles included. I
Because
don't
the thing
know.
is, the guys that are great
Maybe
at
that's the
cornhole,
finish.
all right, they ace that because they're the Usain Bolts, all right? Well, now we're going long distance, and that's the pool players. Can't play cornhole for crap, but he's going to crush you in pool. Then everyone's going to have their discipline.
Right, and you'll know it. It's like watching UFC. Like, oh, this guy, if you get on the ground, it's over.
All right, what would be
You know
your
what I mean?
discipline in the Bar Olympics?
I think if it comes
darts.
down to darts, I got you. If it comes down to pool, I'll probably lose. Even though I'm not bad, I'm just not that great.
The only one I would openly talk smack to anyone even before I go is skee ball. That's it. If that's part of the
Skee
event.
ball would be part of the event. Without question, skee ball would
That's
have
my
to be
discipline.
To me, it would just be horseshoes and cornhole.
Both
Okay,
of those?
but those
All
are
right.
strong.
Okay, yeah.
So LeBron James, he's out in L.A. now. He's playing for the Lakers. He also has a new show on HBO called The Shop, right? So basically, it's going to be him, some people sitting in a barber shop. You'll notice some of the other voices in this because one of them is not Ben Stiller because he never hosted The Daily Show. Jon Stewart.
What do you say to your kid, though, like living up to you being their dad? And they're playing the same sport that you played better than anyone else in the world has ever played it. How do you give them a peace of mind that they don't have to be you?
I still regret giving my 14-year-old my name because of that.
Right.
Like, when I was younger, obviously, didn't have a dad. So my whole thing was like, whenever I have a kid, not only is he going to be a junior, I'm going to do everything that this man didn't do.
Right. Mm-hmm.
They're going to experience things that I didn't experience. The only thing I can do is give them the blueprint, and it's up to them to take their own course whenever that time happens.
I mean, I get what he's saying. That's a lot of pressure if your name is LeBron James Jr.
Sure, it is, but I get his point because as a parent, you worry about these things. But like, look, man, he'll go through stuff one way or another, but he'll be fine. Mm-hmm. And like anything, if he gets good enough, who's the guy in the NFL that dropped the junior?
Or Clay Matthews Jr.?
Yeah, and it was just the point of, I think
a few of them.
And it was just the point where it wasn't, he knew that everyone was like, oh, his father was Clay Matthews, and that's fine. He proved himself to be an outstanding player, and he just kind of dropped it off. And now when you say Clay Matthews, you're talking about him, not his dad.
And sports allows you that, right? Because, I mean, nepotism, obviously, we see it all over the place.
Right.
But sports is the one where it's like, well, if you can't hit, you can't hit.
Right.
And I know, Miles, I know what you're probably going to say. Like, right, on certain levels, high school, maybe even college, you're going to play somebody's kid because you have to. I've seen it in high school. But, like, right, if you get to the professionals, like, if you can't play, it doesn't matter.
But you know what LeBron can do right now?
It doesn't matter what ball brother it is. Like, man, if you can't get out there and play, you're not going to be.
But you know what LeBron can do right now to really rub in his kid's face is add senior to the back of his jersey.
Right.
You know what I mean? Hey, man, I'm sorry, Major, you got a lot to live up to, but I'm adding senior.
Gronkowski's got an impressive family that way. There's a couple that you know, like, all right.
Well, the Mannings, the Gronkowskis.
There's a couple families in there.
Yeah, I'll take the Gronks. One of them played in Maryland.
Did he?
Yeah.
And they party more.
They do, man. They have a lot of fun. Just water, though.
Yeah, just water.
Can't forget that story. And I like LeBron James' idea here. Just a bunch of dudes sitting in a barbershop. I don't think any of them. I don't know if any of them actually get a cut because I don't know if you've seen LeBron James. Like, his beard is on point.
Yeah, man.
Like, that guy has to be in the chair.
I mean, he's talking
more than his hair.
He's in there like talking to Michael Bennett. I don't think Michael Bennett's had a haircut in a while.
Yeah.
I think Michael Bennett's is there to hang out.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
Like,
why you go to the barbershop.
I don't know how real it is. Like, I don't know if anybody, like, there's nobody comes in for a trim, but, like, they're definitely sitting at a barbershop.
Sure.
My parents tell me this story. And so my brother's older than me by 5 years, all right? So my father, tough dude, grew up in the hood, but there was a barbershop. He wasn't so much in the hood now, but there's a barbershop where he has his buddies, right? It's black dudes at a barbershop. You get it. So he takes my brother's like 3 or 4, I guess, or something, but he takes him in to get the haircut. He's showing all, this is my boy, and of course all the fellas, oh, you done good, blah, blah, blah. So they sit him down to give him a haircut, and my father says a housefly was buzzing around and landed on him, and he had this complete meltdown, man. And my father was like, it was the most embarrassing. This is my boy, the future man. A housefly landed on him, and he's like, I took him out, didn't go back.
He never went back?
I mean, he may have gone back on his own, but my brother did not go back with him. He said, man, you just don't understand.
That is terrible.
Oh, yeah. He's like, man.
I mean, I remember my dad taking me to Phil Mantudo. Never forget him.
Mm-hmm.
Phil Mantudo.
Jimmy Colano was mine.
Yeah, that was my barber.
Yep.
And we went to the same barber shop, like, for years. So, like, man, your dad must have been embarrassed of him if he never took him back there. It's like a thing. You could pass the barber on to your son.
Man, it was...
there was always some weird...
it was bad.
There was always some weird, shady business deal going on around you.
Sure.
People running numbers, the phone was ringing, people were putting money on crap.
But he's the guy. He knows everyone's business, and he does... Like, the barbershop's the safe haven, man.
No, but you also got a bookie in there. I mean, the barbershop's got a lot
All
of
right,
stuff
here's the
going
thing
on.
I always notice about barbershops. There's always a head guy, right? Like, so my guy was Phil. Then there's always that just other dude.
Who's always there.
And his chair's always open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't even know if he's a barber.
Right, nobody's getting trimmed by him.
Right.
Unless it's the new guy that comes in and doesn't have no idea.
He's the dude that sweeps the hair off the floor.
Yes. But he's not Luke Cage. All right. If you get, what do you prefer? 80s movies or Mighty Python?
Monty Python? Did you say Mighty Python?
I did.
Thank you, Hulk Hogan. I'll take Monty Python.
I'll take 80s movies.
God darn it. I hope this guy was on Mighty Python.
Monty.
John Cleese was on that, right?
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, turns out he was almost a lord.
I was offered a peerage. Do you know what that means?
A lord.
Yes.
Okay.
I could have been Lord Cheese.
Because people may not know, but your family name is actually Cheese.
Yeah, well, my dad's name was Cheese.
Yes.
He changed it when he went in the First World War to fight. I love the idea because it would have annoyed the Pythons so much,
Oh, of course, because you're countercultural.
Yeah.
And
he said, but the only thing is, you have to vote all the time in the House of Lords. And I said, does that mean that I have to be there in the winter? And he said, I'm afraid so. And I said, pass. Because I only have one thing on my bucket list, and that is never to be cold again.
I like him.
Right?
Yeah. I totally get it.
Yeah, when you get older, your blood thins out a little bit.
I've lived in this great place. Get me the frick out of here.
By the way, I'm sorry, I just have to throw this in real quick. Your men's room decathlon idea, right? There are a lot of people that want to make this happen.
I do too.
I'm telling you, we got to figure this out.
And man, just do the championship.
Well, the Beer Olympics. I mean, I've taken part in them before.
But we'll do it by weight.
Well, I think we should do what is your strike? I got skee ball,
darts, pool.
But I'm no good
but here's the thing.
We got 10.
Okay, but here's the thing.
Beer pong.
The ultimate thing that's got to finish this damn thing is the beer mile, because there has to be you always see Bruce Jenner when he's crossing the finish line. It was like that last race that he did.
No, he's just showing that his armpits are still dry.
It's a marathon, right? He does a marathon at the end. I think it is.
Not a marathon.
Half marathon. No, they run their asses off on that thing.
It's like the 440 relays. I mean, they're not running a marathon.
I think it's a big race. Maybe not.
I think we should end it with a .05K.
I think we should end it with the beer mile. It got to end with a beer mile.
I'll do that.
You know what I mean?
I'm out on that.
You could do a beer mile.
I just want to
Let it be Miles' discipline. I think you got to
give me one. Give me one.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. Mike's got your headlines coming up in minutes. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Oregon woman rescued off the side of a cliff, charged with 96 felonies, and goes directly to jail. Meanwhile, a Queens man who sues inaccessible shops with wheelchair is neither handicapped, in a wheelchair, or frail. I'll show you a man eating a pie with knife and fork almost kicked out from down under. Seattle Transportation Chief says, my work is done here. Now back to my slumber. And naked Milwaukee man doesn't let a taser stop his intersection naked kung fu. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my cock.
All right, our top story, we take to Australian social media where a firestorm is brewing over one of their politicians eating pie.
Tell me it's a euphemism.
Well, like sweet pie or like a pie?
Meat
Well, hang in there, Ted.
All right, sorry.
A photo shared online shows the politician eating a pie at a local bakery, saying that they still make the best pies, but he's eating the small pastry with a knife and fork.
That's very posh.
The controversial photo led to an uproar online about the proper way that he should have eaten the pie, most saying that he should have simply held it with both hands.
It's a pie.
It's a pie, but the pies are more dry in that situation, where the pies that I've had in America are more pot pie-ish.
Yes.
So they're more gravy-based, so that would make sense in that sense.
But this one's more of like
this is more of just
it's like a biscuit filled with stuff.
Right. Yeah,
It's like one you get at the game. Like if you go to a soccer match in other countries, like people just eat a pie and drink a pint.
Mm-hmm. So a lot of people are suggesting that it's
it'd be the
votes
equivalent of
eating
eating a hot
way.
dog with a fork and a knife.
You don't need
It wasn't slathered in gravy or wasn't slathered in chili or whatever.
Right, and that's what what's his name did, the old PM of England, and they ran him out.
Oh yeah, they did. That's why Brexit happened.
Boy, you're not kidding.
I mean, there was other reasons,
obviously,
but I'm not kidding. Like in the House of Commons, they were like, "He's so posh and this and that," because he ate a hot dog with a fork and knife, and they were like, "What's going on?"
That's what their problems are.
Wow.
Yeah.
In other news, in Oregon, a woman went missing for 4 days, and she was found. When she was found, she was hit with an amazing 96 felony counts.
Yeah, because she stole people's identity.
Apparently, the woman had stolen thousands of dollars from a couple retirement communities through identity theft and was wanted on felony charges. She was reported missing as authorities were trying to track her down, and she was eventually found by her husband stranded on a cliff.
Damn.
She was airlifted out and taken to the hospital before being hit with all those charges.
Good people.
Good people.
I mean, like, really, like, you're rescuing this woman off a cliff. Like, you don't realize, like, what a piece of crap she is.
I think they know exactly what a piece of crap she is.
I don't think they do. Maybe they do.
I think they
But
said
still,
don't let her go anywhere. She's wanted on a lot of crap. She's
Right.
stolen thousands of dollars from old people just trying to, enjoy themselves.
Here, let's use our public funding once again to save this
I
person's
would have
life.
taken my time at least. Like, are you Alicia Johnson? Yeah. Really, man, you're stealing the idea. Please help me. I'm getting there.
Right.
Hang on. Hang on.
Wait, let me put you on hold. Dun, 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 dun,
Even
dun,
you're
dun,
standing
dun,
there
dun,
singing that to
dun,
her.
dun, 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 dun.
Your call, your rescue is
First,
very
I need
important to me.
your first, middle, last name, your social security number.
Hope you like Herb Albert, baby.
In Manhattan, a man that has made a living on blackmailing businesses for not being handicap accessible might have met his match. The man has gone to numerous businesses in his powered wheelchair and threatened to sue multiple companies for upwards of $5 million.
He looks for these places.
For not being handicapped accessible unless they handed over $50,000 to him personally.
Ooh.
Yeah, he does. And he,
And
like you
he's an
said, he hunts his
extortionist.
place down. Yeah. Recently, reporters went to his home for comments and found that he could walk completely fine without the use of a wheelchair or even support from another person. He then demanded that the reporter leave and that he wanted no photos taken.
Hey, I don't want
What do you know? He was then seen going out with a friend equipped with sunglasses and a cane for the blind.
God damn.
Which, I mean, the story does say that he does have some sort of a partial blindness going on. He doesn't need the cane and the sunglasses.
I used to work with a guy, actually. He had a glass eye. Not the same guy that Miles worked with a glass eye, but this guy, he was one of the most difficult people to work with. Horrible. Management didn't like him. Co-workers didn't like him. And he would tell you out loud, if they fire me, I'm going to sue for... And he'd go through all this handicap stuff. It was unbelievable. I thought he was joking the first time I heard it.
Oh, no.
Dude, I saw a blind dude the other day walking down the street, with the cane.
Yeah.
And ripping a cigarette. And I was like, impressive, man. Impressive.
I saw
Stevie
Stevie
Wonder.
Wonder.
No, but I'm saying, like, he didn't miss a beat, like, because I was kind of, and, like, he could hear people. I don't know. It just seemed crazy that he was concentrating on smoking a cigarette while also.
Well, maybe he's like, dude, I'm not blind. I'm a pimp. My
Did you
pimp
ever-
stick.
He's like a...
You ever grabbed something
I would
close
just
your eyes
assume-
and put it in your mouth?
I would just assume you end up being like a bat in a cave, man. You just got this crazy sonar. You can hear everything. You can sense everything. You know what I'm saying?
I think
Like-
you hear things better.
Yeah,
you ever
you
trip
definitely
someone who's blind on a bus?
That's
it's
crazy.
riveting,
Oh, yeah,
man.
that's right. You don't even respect him.
Oh, thanks for coming.
Forgot about that,
No.
Mike. Now it makes sense.
His other sensors is a height.
You hate
He knows
blind
what's
people.
going on. He's like Daredevil. He can see everything just fine, only with echolocation. A man in Kansas has awakened.
That's a bat, brother.
Sorry to have
So are
tripped you,
blind
Daredevil.
people. So are blind people. We go to Massachusetts where a man... I don't hate blind people. Please don't start this.
Did you say black or blind?
I had a blind friend, okay?
Because the jury's out about I had a blind friend.
He hates Stevie Wonder.
He's the worst of all things.
He doesn't even like Jamie Foxx as he played Ray.
I was okay with them.
How many black blind jokes do we have? Let's think of all the black blind people we know. Now we've covered Ray Charles, Stevie Wonder. Who else?
We go to Massachusetts, where a man bought a violin from a pawn shop that was worth a lot more than he thought. He bought the instrument from a pawn shop for a meager $50, but it turns out that the violin was actually stolen from a house that was broken into. The shop got a call from the police department saying that the instrument had been stolen and needed to be returned to its rightful owners, and then it was revealed that it was a violin that was handcrafted back in 1759.
Damn. Isn't there a name for those? Like it's
Stradivarius?
Was it a Stradivarius?
Probably not. Stradivarius it's from like the same time.
Either way.
You know what, dude?
If it's from that age, it doesn't matter, I would guess.
I bought a violin from a pawn shop as well. Probably cost me about $50, and I'm sure it's worth about $20.
Damn it, someone stole it.
Yeah, it's probably made by Sears.
If it was Stradivarius, they would tell you it was a Stradivarius as a guarantee.
I don't think Stradivarius is right because I would have been able just to remember that. But yeah, it was.
Can you name another violin company?
No.
Like, it's a violin or it's a Stradivarius. I mean, that's just how they write it out, right?
The thing's worth like $250,000 easy. Right? The pawn shop says that it's going to change its practices up to and including having sellers play the instrument so that they know it's truly theirs.
Oh, Christ.
You're going to get every sob story. This is my father's and he died.
That is a beautiful solo mio.
That's right. That's it for headlines with that. Mike Hawk is out.
Thank you, Mike. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time for the random question. Your guess is as good as mine. Profile this, and we'll drink and toast with a shot of the day.
Yes, indeed. It is all true. But in the meantime, we be all about this blah. So until next time, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.